What's up, world of YouTube? So, this is my opinion of why I think Hamas has already won this conflict between itself and Israel. Now, let me explain why. Obviously, on a military terms, they cannot defeat the IDF, the Israel Defense Force. But Hamas are not fighting in conventional terms as what you would think in a conflict. They have learned a lesson, and this is what I have been sort of saying and worrying about from when we saw the BLM riots. They learned a narrative with that, and they're running with it. They're fighting a propaganda war, and they've already won. Now, what I'm going to do now is play a Sky News clip of an influential Palestinian rapper and what he says on this.
As for wider Palestinian protests, he likens them to the Black Lives Matter movement, saying people just want equal rights.
Because whenever I was watching the Black Lives, however they walked, I was like, damn, dude, it's so inspiring. Maybe we should walk like this. We should do like this. We should act like this. The way they communicate, and the way the revolution is so cool as well. Coolness is very important.
Now, I heard it from the rapper himself there saying they learned from the Black Lives Matter and they were thinking, we should do this because, and he called it a revolution. Their revolution is cool, and coolness is everything. What he's talking about there, he's talking about the image of Hamas worldwide. And he's talking about changing that. That is their plan, and that's why I think they've already won. Now, what the BBC then did is they have done a piece which also adds to my narrative on what's happening here. My opinion, I'm not saying this is what's going on, but we're just going to play that clip now.
Police broke down the door of the Mahmoud family in Haifa. They deny accusations their sons were attacking Jews. The police say their officers behaved correctly. The father, Sheikh Awad, the imam of a mosque, and his two sons were arrested for attacking police officers. The woman who filmed this said they're scared not of Jews, but of racist police.
See, they're not scared of Jews, they're scared of racist police. Can you see where this is fitting in now? As this all started when the police tried to evict some Palestinians. I'm not going to go into the law on that because there's a court battle going on. And then the police went into the mosque as well. Then the rockets got fired. Now, I'm sorry, but any evictions or police action is not justification for firing rockets, but you can see where this narrative is going. And you've got Sky News there saying protesters, a number of protesters have been killed. But if you see below, he says he was trying to ram their car into a military post and then trying to stab a soldier. Of course they're going to kill that. So it's not all black and white, but Hamas are winning the propaganda war. They're winning it very well because if you notice on all the social media and all the Western media, they do seem to be leaning to support Hamas. And what is Joe Biden doing in all this? The leader of the free world who's supposed to sort of symbolize strength and leadership? Well, let's just have a look at what he says.
I had a brief conversation with him yesterday, and I have my intelligence community, the Defense Department, as well as the State Department, have been in contact with all of their counterparts in not only in Israel but in the region. And one of the things that I have seen thus far is that there has not been a significant overreaction. The question is how we get to a point where they get to a point where there is a significant reduction in the attacks, particularly the rocket attacks that are indiscriminately fired into population.
How weak does that look? I mean, he just looks like a rambling sort of buffoon. No strength at all, just weakness. And I'm sorry, but everyone in the world is seeing that, and this is why you're seeing all these issues. They know America at the moment is very weak. Say what you want about Trump, but the world knew if you mess with Trump, he was going to bite you and bite you hard. Biden, you haven't got that with him at all. Now, why this is important is it's worrying because this is kind of sort of looking back now to the 1920s, 1930s. What do I mean by that? In the 1920s and 1930s, radio and television were the new mainstream, and everyone was using that to weaponize and get their political and any of the beliefs they want into people's minds. Now, what's happening is now is social media is the new sort of mass entertainment system, propaganda system. And that is now being weaponized by certain people to get their agendas and their political beliefs across. Now, this is why I think Hamas have already won, because they've learnt that from the Black Lives Matter movement in America, and they are now putting that into force very, very well. Very well indeed. But again, this is my opinion. It is a debate channel, so if you are new to the channel, please subscribe, leave your opinions below, and let's debate this.